For 23 years, Dr. Clarkson has worked at this desk as president of the Westminster Schools. He has accomplished a great deal in his time here. Ever seen Robinson Hall, the new middle school, Love Hall? All of these impressive buildings have come about thanks to Dr. Clarkson's leadership. Furthermore, Dr. Clarkson has had a truly profound impact on the Westminster Schools. He took us into the computer age with the one-to-one MacBook program. He progressed the school's views to be more inclusive and globally engaged. It takes a truly special kind of passion and determination to accomplish all that Dr. Clarkson did in his 23 years at Westminster.
The campus has changed profoundly since Dr. Clarkson came here in 1991. If you think about it, we have Robinson Hall, we have Love Hall, we have the new middle school building, we have the significantly expanded Turner Athletic Facility, which was doubled in size about 13 years ago. We have totally renovated Campbell and Askew, and here we are in Scott. We're working on an expansion of the Carlisle Fraser Library right now that will be completed sometime early this fall. This is a change in landscape that's massive. We've done 4 major building projects in his tenure of 23 years here, and they have totally transformed the campus. So physically, that's a remarkable change.
I was excited about Bill Clarkson coming, and I think he's achieved the same sort of level of prominence. He's made the same sort of contribution to Westminster that Dr. Presley did, and he's just been a wonderful leader. It makes you real proud of Westminster to see what's happened over the last 20 years.
In addition to all his accomplishments and the buildings and of course the famous Loop Road that's changed the face of this campus. You know, you talk about the buildings, JP, but when you think about the Loop Road, that made our campus a pedestrian campus, much safer. So the minute you walk onto the Westminster and you walk inside Adams Gate, you're having a totally pedestrian experience from the first minute of school until after your practice is over. And so that reconfiguration of the campus landscape is a great idea and just made the school safer and more aesthetically pleasing.
Of course, the Loop Road and, you know, actually driving around campus for people who've been away for a while, it's such an extraordinary thing. And then, of course, all the buildings. The whole campus has been transformed, really, since in that 23-year span. And he's led us through that, and it's, you know, it's been wonderful.
Not only did Dr. Clarkson thoroughly expand Westminster's campus, but he also pioneered new ideals and objectives for the school.
He clearly moved the school in a very positive direction outside the gates of Westminster. Westminster is now part of the outside world through its travel experiences, through online education, through opening up Westminster to all different students.
While Bill's been here, we've added so many programs, and you talked about opening up the school to all walks of life. Since Bill has been the headmaster, we have actually opened up the school to the entire globe. We've had exchange programs started with Mount Kenya, with China, with Argentina, with Belgium, with France. We have many more kids taking SYA, school year abroad, summers abroad in foreign countries. So all these exchange programs, we really have become the global village. And I think Westminster's been the pace setter for that, not only in Atlanta, but across the United States.
Well, I think he's a leader that fosters a culture of openness and inclusion. I remember during the interview I did with him during my senior year, I asked him what he thought had changed most about Westminster during his tenure. And he said that he thought the school had become a very inclusive and welcoming environment, and I think that's a large part due to his leadership as president.
As we've talked about, Dr. Clarkson is at the helm of a very large operation. We are one of the largest day schools in the nation, well over 1,800 students, well over 270 faculty, a large staff. So it takes tremendous managerial skill to keep that ship steady and heading in the right direction, and to keep it, you know, in fiscally strong shape and all of that. So these jobs take a great deal of time, and you don't always get to have the opportunity to work closely with students as you would want to.
I think he had to sacrifice that. He didn't probably have the closeness with the students that he wanted to have because of that factor. He was gone a lot, and he wasn't able to get out and mingle. And several times he would tell me he wished he could, but he didn't, and he couldn't, and he had to go that direction. Your bosses tell you what direction to go, and he went that way and did it very well, but it was at a sacrifice.
Although Dr. Clarkson manages one of the largest schools in the Southeast, he's still able to find time to experience his passions and foster personal relationships with his colleagues.
Well, Bill, he's a fun-loving guy. He loves to have fun. He loves to play jokes on other people. He can also take a joke. He's also a fantastically obnoxious Duke fan. He's very proud of being a Duke grad.
Not that most students would ever see it, but Dr. Clarkson's quite an athlete. He is a very good squash player. I've lost many matches to him. He's also a really good golfer, and I've only played with him once or twice because it's just simply too devastating to my little golfer's ego to get beat by 20 strokes.
He's also a very good golfer. Not only is he a very good golfer, he loves the sport. He loves the integrity of the sport, the sportsmanship, and the gentlemanly conduct that goes with it. So he's a good golfer, and he loves the game itself.
Behind this academic and this clerical figure, you have this boy from Texas who loves games, and he is always glad to be at a game and always really glad to be in a game, and that's Dr. Clarkson.
He had a real enthusiasm for being here. I think you could see him, you spoke to him, he had a big grin on his face.
Well, there's so many things with Bill. I remember when he came into work last year, maybe 2 years ago, his entire office was outside on the patio of Presley. And he came in, he knew nothing about it. He opened his office door, his office was absolutely vacant. There wasn't a stitch of furniture in it, and his entire office was outdoors. Bill just let out a laugh. He knew exactly what had happened. He went outdoors, shared a few laughs with the seniors who were all out there. His office had been exactly repositioned, furniture piece by furniture piece, on the mall outside in Presley. He sat down at his desk and worked and did a couple of work for 2 or 3 hours and visited with the seniors. So he can take a joke and roll with the punches.
For a talent show several years ago, he and Mr. DePriest dressed up as Elvis impersonators and sang a song for the students. It was absolutely horrible, and of course perfect for the moment. A lot of humor to it, a lot of spirit of just kind of going with the flow of the event. We had a faculty costume day not too long ago, and he came as a biker dude, and he was one fearsome looking biker dude. He had the look down completely.
But Dr. Clarkson's job entails more than just expanding the campus and pushing the school in new directions. He's even been kidnapped, interrogated, and threatened by his own students. Here are some clips from 24, a student-produced TV show parody.
It doesn't end with me. Jack, it's the president.
Welcome to the gym, Mr. President.
Why are you doing this?
Isn't it obvious?
No.
Football game.
What?
27-7.
Oh.
There's nowhere to go! You're wrong, Jack.
All in all, Dr. Clarkson has had a monumental impact on the Westminster schools, this community, and all of our hearts. Dr. Clarkson, you will be missed.